Metro Boomin. He pioneered a generation of music, inspired many, and will continue to inspire, especially with his newest release, Heroes and Villains, teaming up with the greatest rappers such as Future, Young Thug, Don Toliver, Travis, 21 Savage, and more, even with singers such as John Legend, and with a feature from a legendary actor whose voice you probably recognized, Morgan Freeman. He created an entire soundscape of perfection, from start to finish, and there are very few producers who can claim the same. But you didn't watch this video to learn about who Metro is, you watched to learn about his creative process. And that's why today we'll be breaking down his process from scratch of sampling, composing, and overall creating a hit record. It all starts with a sample, where we will be trying to create something with inspiration from his new track, Niagara Falls, which has a more darker and atmospheric tone and features Travis Scott and 21 Savage. I'll be making the sample from scratch in the first part of this video, and in the second part I will be making the beat using the sample that I made. The sample that I make during this video will also be available on waves.com under my profile, and if you sign up using my code, which will appear on the screen, you will receive 50% off your first month, and it will help me out a little bit. Thank you. So we're going to start with the sample. Now for the sample I started off with some keys because we're going for the vibe of Niagara Falls, which is essentially like a Travis Scott beat produced by Metro Boomin. We're gonna try and recreate kind of an actual sample, and if you listen to Niagara Falls you hear it's very atmospheric and there's kind of orchestra elements to it. So we're gonna start with some keys, and I have some chords and notes laid down. It's a basic minor, just 2 chords and then some arpeggiated notes. And then we're gonna bring it to a mixer track. We're gonna add some altar boy. It gives it a lot crazier of a sound. You don't even recognize the keys after. Like, listen. Same with these. Now for that, I'm going to bounce both of those separately. Now we're gonna add a lot more. All textures, all details, all for arrangement and everything. This is just the basis. We have the chords, we have the notes, we can build off that. And in one of Metro's videos that he does, he shows that he uses this one preset in Nexus called prod's sidechain bass. And we're gonna bounce that as well. So now we have 3 elements. Gonna add some compression, some delay, and what I'm gonna do is make a copy of this and reverse it. And that should be good for this one. I'm gonna pan it a little bit to the left because this I want to pan to the right. And as always, whenever you're mixing any melodic elements other than the bass, cut out all the low end strong. You don't want it to clash later on in the mix. Now that already sounds pretty full, but that's going to be later on for the drums. I'm going to start off with the intro now. I'm going to start with the chords. I'm going to cut the low end out of these pads. Add some reverb again. Now we still want to keep it simplistic, so we're not going to go crazy on the mixing or anything. Now what I want next is kind of a brass sound. And this will be the lead. As you can hear, it's already pretty distorted, so all I want to do is kind of clean it up. And I'm going to do that with an EQ. Alright, let's record vocals. That should be good, and we're gonna denoise it by right-clicking this brush tool, and then basically you have to highlight the room tone, right-click that, select everything, and then left-click it, and then you can denoise it. You don't need to use any plugins, just takes the noise out on its own, all stock. So this will add some more character to it, do some mixing to it. And let's actually make it a little bit wider. And let's see how it sounds. Now I think the last thing we need is some bass. That should be good. All we need is an EQ, really, just because of the sub. You don't want it to be crazy. So we have this. I'll add some vinyl to make it sound a little darker. I think we want kind of a minimalistic intro, kind of build it, maybe add some strings, have the same 2 chords, really simple chords. This will add to more of that orchestral feeling. And I think once the keys come in, I think I want more keys. Just another layer. Let's bring this down an octave. Gonna build the sprinkle more. And for these, same keys all around too, just different mixing. Since I want them as a texture, I'm gonna give them more high end. Gonna add some reels. Then what I want to do is add some Valhalla delay. And that should be it. Let's see how it sounds. That's perfect. Now we can go into adding the drums. So for the beat, as you see, I have my sample loaded in, just the composition. I don't need the stems. And then I have a new sample, and this is an actual song. It's The Future is Breaking Up. This isn't going to be a huge part of the beat, it's just the intro. If you're worried about, if you're like, oh, he said he'll make a sample from scratch. I still am using the sample I made from scratch. That's going to be the main part of the beat. So basically what I'm going to do is change the mode to stretch on both of these. That way it's more fluid for when I want to change tempo or pitch or whatever. And I'm speeding this up just in hopes I don't get copyrighted. Let's pitch it up too. So right here, I'm just chopping up at the spots that needs to be cut at the perfect 8 or 16 bar marks, and I'm gonna stretch it to time. And this is F minor. I don't think we're changing the pitch of it, but let's test it out. I think it sounds good how it is. Have that fade in, the first half. Perfect. Okay, so that's gonna be the intro. Maybe I'm gonna have it here. And we're gonna chop this up too. Just do that. And again, this sample will be available on waves.com under my packs. There it is. And then I'm gonna have the drums. For the drums, I'll be using my unreleased drum kit. But don't worry, it's gonna release pretty soon. So these are some of the sounds. Perfect. Perfect. I'm gonna add some vinyl dust to the intro. So I'm just doing a few hat rolls here and there. I don't want to do anything super complex. Perfect. Okay, so here's the hats. And this, I'm going to cut the low ends, even though there really aren't any low ends. Just to make room for the 808s, kicks, whatever I add. The rim, let's do that next since that's easy. Perfect. And for the mix, for my drums, I typically only do EQs, unless it needs anything other. Kick now. Let's add some open hats. Maybe a crash. Open hat. And it's a good practice to kind of pan your elements left and right. That way it gives it more character and less sounds clash together. And as you see, I offset the hats a tiny bit. That just makes your kicks sound harder and it makes them sound like they're clashing with the hat when they're not. And for the 808, I have to use this Metro Boomin 808, of course. Again, this drum kit is not out yet. It will be out very, very soon, but it's just not out yet for now because it's still a work in progress. I'm sorry. I hate to make you guys wait. Perfect, okay. And I cut off the 808s when the rim or snare hits right here. I like to cut them off there because then it just sounds cleaner. Like, I'll show you. What we're gonna do is sidechain it, so I like to turn my volume to 100 and then turn this volume to 78. The reason I do this is because typically it's at 78 right now. So by turning it up all the way, I want to turn it down here. So basically, I don't want it to change in volume. I just want to have this automation. It's a lot easier to use when it's literally just top or bottom. Now that you have your sidechain, what you do is you copy the kick into the sidechain so it hits when the kick hits. That way it doesn't clash, see? And yeah, let's add some interesting stuff. Yeah, I like this. Again, I don't want to overcrowd the beat. I just want to add some percussions for some bounce. So since it's a Metro Boomin style beat and his production is never super complicated with drums, I'm not going to overcomplicate the drums. So I think those are the only two perks I'm gonna add. And what I'm gonna do is not have the drums come in for the first section. So that's what I'm going to be using from the sample, and then I'm going to use the other sections as well. So I want to use this one. Let's try some reverse snares. So after arranging the beat, this is what the whole thing sounds like. First of all, I want to say thank you everyone so much for watching. I love making this video and I hope to make more in the future, so this is the first of many. And I promise that the next ones will be more organized than this one, but I am excited for the future. And for those interested in the drum kit, it is not yet finished, but I would love if you guys gave me feedback, so comment down below what you want to see in the kit and or what you thought of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.